I remember the night it finally hit me. Not the anger, not the blame, just the weight. Lying in bed at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling, replaying every memory like a movie I couldn't stop watching. The laughter, the fights, the way they used to look at me, the way they stopped looking at me. Maybe you've been there too. Maybe it's fresh. Maybe it's been months, even years. But there's still this ache, this hole, this voice that whispers, what if I'd done something differently? What if they come back? What if I never love again? Letting go of someone you love is supposed to get easier with time. That's what they tell you. But whoever they are, they've clearly never lain awake at 3 a.m. with their chest caving in, wondering how someone who was once your whole world became a stranger. I've been there, more than once, and I learned something that changed everything. The pain of letting go isn't the problem. The problem is that no one ever taught us how to let go. We're told to move on, but not how. We're told time heals, but time just passes. It doesn't teach. It doesn't guide. It just keeps moving while we stay stuck. The Stoics understood this years ago. They knew that the human heart has always broken the same way, that attachment has always hurt the same way, that letting go has always been the hardest thing we ever do. But they also discovered something else, something that saved me in my darkest moments. Letting go isn't about forgetting. It's not about hating. It's not about building walls so high that no one can ever hurt you again. That's not strength. That's fear wearing armor. Real letting go is something else entirely. It's accepting that someone you loved is no longer yours to hold. It's understanding that love doesn't disappear just because the person does. It's learning to carry the love differently, not as weight, but as wisdom. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor who buried children, who faced betrayal, who lost people he loved more than power, wrote something that became my anchor. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. He wasn't saying don't feel. He was saying feel everything. But don't let your feelings own you. Don't let the past dictate your future. Don't let someone who left keep living rent-free in your head. Today I'm going to share with you 10 Stoic rules that help me let go. Not just move on. Let go. Release. Finally breathe again. If you're tired of carrying weight that isn't yours anymore, hit that like button. Drop one word in the comments. The one thing you're ready to release. Her, him, the past, the pain, name it. Naming it takes its power. Subscribe because healing isn't a one-time event. It's a daily practice, and starting today, you're practicing. Number 1, accept that some stories don't have a happy ending. We're raised on fairy tales. Disney taught us that love conquers all, that if you just believe enough, fight enough, wait enough, it will work out. The guy gets the girl. The couple lives happily ever after. The credits roll before the hard parts start. But life isn't a movie, and some of the most beautiful love stories don't have happy endings. They have real endings, messy endings, painful endings, endings that leave you wondering if any of it meant anything. It meant everything. That's why it hurts. Here's what I had to learn the hard way. Not every relationship is meant to last forever. Some people come into your life for a season, not a lifetime. They teach you something. They show you something about yourself. They love you in a way you needed to be loved at that exact moment. And then they go. Not because you failed, not because they're bad, not because love isn't real, because their purpose in your story is complete. Seneca wrote, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end." Think about that. Every beginning requires an ending. You can't start the next chapter if you keep reading the last one over and over. I spent months after one breakup rereading old texts, looking at photos, replaying conversations, trying to find the moment it went wrong, trying to find the place where I could have changed things. But you can't change a book by rereading it. You can only understand it. The Stoic warrior accepts that some stories don't have happy endings, not because they're pessimistic, because they're realistic, because they know that clinging to a story that's already ended is the fastest way to miss the story that's trying to begin. You wanted a happy ending. I know, me too, we all did. But wanting doesn't make it true, and pretending doesn't make it hurt less. Acceptance isn't giving up. It's finally seeing clearly. It's saying, this is what happened. This is where we are. This is the truth, not the story I wanted. And from that place of truth, you can finally start moving. Ask yourself today, what story am I still trying to rewrite? What ending am I still hoping for that's never coming? What would it feel like to just accept it? Not like it. Accept it. Let it be what it is. That acceptance is the first step, and it's the hardest. But you can't let go of something you're still holding. Number 2, your attachment is not the same as your love. This one took me years to understand, and when I finally got it, it changed everything. I thought my pain meant my love was real. I thought the more it hurt, the deeper I'd loved. I wore my suffering like a badge of honor, proof that what we had mattered. But here's what I didn't understand. Love and attachment are not the same thing. Love is wanting someone to be happy, even if it's not with you. Attachment is needing them to be happy with you, to be happy yourself. Love is wishing them well. Attachment is wishing they'd come back. Love is the warm memory of what was. Attachment is the desperate hope for what could have been. The Stoics made this distinction years ago. Epictetus taught, some things are in our control and others not. Who stays in your life? Not in your control. How you love them? That's in your control. When someone leaves, the love can remain. It doesn't have to turn into bitterness. It doesn't have to turn into hate. It can just be. A quiet warmth in your heart that doesn't demand anything, that doesn't need anything, that simply honors what was. But attachment? Attachment is the part that's screaming, the part that's bargaining, the part that's checking their social media at 2 a.m., the part that's hoping they'll text. Attachment is not love. Attachment is fear wearing love's clothes. Marcus Aurelius wrote, you can discard most of the junk that clutters your mind, things that exist only there, and clear out space for yourself. The junk is attachment. The clutter is the hope, the bargaining, the replaying, the wishing. Clear it out. Not because the love wasn't real, because the love doesn't need the clutter to be real. Try this. Think of them right now. Feel the love that's still there, that warmth, that care. That's real. That's yours forever. Now feel the attachment, the wanting, the needing, the hoping they'll come back. Notice how different those two things feel. One is peace. One is pain. One is yours to keep. One is yours to release. You can love someone without being attached to them. You can wish them well without needing them back. You can carry the memory without being crushed by the absence. That's freedom. That's letting go. Number 3, what you resist persists. There's a psychological principle that the Stoics understood intuitively. What you fight against grows stronger. Think about it. When you try not to think of someone, what happens? You think of them. When you try to push away the pain, it pushes back. When you resist the sadness, it digs in deeper. I spent months trying to not feel, trying to be strong, trying to move on before I'd actually processed anything. I'd distract myself with work, with people, with anything that would fill the silence. And every night, when the distraction stopped, there it was, waiting for me, stronger than before. Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. My reaction was resistance, and resistance was making it worse. The Stoic approach to pain is counterintuitive. They don't fight it, they don't run from it, they sit with it. They let it be there. They observe it like a cloud passing through the sky, knowing it will pass. Seneca wrote, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Most of the pain of letting go isn't the actual absence. It's the story you tell yourself about the absence. It's the imagining of a future that won't happen. It's the replaying of a past that's already gone. It's the resistance to what is. When you stop resisting, something shifts. You stop fighting reality. You stop arguing with what happened. You stop trying to change what can't be changed. And in that surrender, you find something unexpected. Not more pain, less. The pain is still there. It doesn't disappear, but it's no longer fighting you. It's just there. And because you're not feeding it with resistance, it can finally start to move through you instead of getting stuck. Try this tonight. Sit somewhere quiet. Let yourself feel whatever's there. Don't judge it. Don't try to change it. Just feel it. The sadness, the longing, the loneliness, the anger. Let it all be there. And notice that you're still breathing, still here, still okay. The feelings didn't destroy you. They're just feelings. They come, they go. You remain. What you resist persists. What you allow transforms. Number 4. The person you miss may not exist anymore. This one hit me like a freight train when I first understood it, and it might hit you too. The person you're missing right now, the one you're replaying memories of, the one you're hoping will come back, they might not exist anymore. Not in a dramatic, they're dead way, in a deeper way. People change. Circumstances change. Time changes everyone. The person you fell in love with was who they were then. The person they are now, you might not even recognize them. And more importantly, who you are now is different too. You've been through things. You've grown. You've changed. The version of you that loved them might not even exist anymore. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." Everything changes, constantly. Nothing stays the same. Not them, not you, not love, not anything. I realized after one breakup that I wasn't missing the actual person they'd become. I was missing a memory, a snapshot, a version of them that existed in my mind but not in reality. The person I wanted to come back, they were gone. Not because they died, because they evolved, because life happened, because time passed. And the person they are now might not even want the person I am now. We were holding on to ghosts, both of us. Seneca said, "Each day we die a little. Each day the person we were yesterday dies. Each day we're born anew. You can't step into the same river twice because it's not the same river and you're not the same person." So ask yourself honestly, who are you really missing? The person they are today or the person they were in your favorite memory? If it's the memory, you're not missing them. You're missing a moment. And moments can't come back. They can only be remembered. Let the memory be beautiful. Let it be yours. But don't confuse it with reality. The reality is now. And in this now, they're not here. And that's okay. Not because it doesn't hurt. Because holding on to a ghost keeps you from meeting the real people waiting for you in the present. Number 5. Your worth was never them. This is the one that breaks people. The quiet fear underneath all the pain. Maybe if I'd been enough, they'd have stayed. Maybe if I'd been better, they'd have chosen me. Maybe if I'd been more, they'd have loved me right. I've whispered every version of this to myself in the dark, and every version is a lie. Your worth was never them. Your worth was never anyone's ability to see you, choose you, or stay with you. Your worth was given the day you were born. It's not conditional. It's not up for debate. It's not something you earn or lose based on someone else's choices. Epictetus, born a slave, beaten and broken, understood this better than anyone. He wrote, "No one can harm your mind without your consent." Someone leaving doesn't harm your worth. It only harms your worth if you consent, if you let their departure define your value. But here's what actually happened. They left because of them, their fears, their limitations, their inability to show up, their own brokenness, not because of you. People who can love well, stay. People who can't, leave. That's not a judgment on you. It's data about them. Seneca wrote, "It's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Don't waste your time trying to prove you were worthy to someone who couldn't see it. Don't waste your energy trying to become what they wanted. Don't waste your life waiting for them to realize what they lost. You were always worthy. Before them, during them, after them. Their leaving didn't change that. It just revealed that they weren't capable of matching your worth. Think about someone you love unconditionally, a child, a parent, a best friend. Does their worth depend on them staying with you? No. Their worth is inherent. It just is. Give yourself that same grace. You are worthy because you exist, not because someone chose you, not because someone stayed, not because someone loved you right. You are worthy. Full stop. Let that sink in, and then let them go. Not because you're not enough, because you are, and you deserve someone who can see it. Numero 6. Grief is love with no place to go. This might be the most beautiful thing I've ever learned about heartbreak. Grief is not the opposite of love. Grief is love's continuation after loss. It's love with nowhere to land. It's all the care, all the tenderness, all the connection you still feel, with no one to receive it. And that's why it hurts so much. Not because love is gone, because love is still there, pouring out with no container. I used to think grief meant I hadn't moved on, that if I still felt the ache, I was stuck. But the Stoics taught me something different. They taught me that grief is natural, that love doesn't switch off, that the pain of loss is proportional to the depth of connection. Marcus Aurelius lost children, multiple children. He buried his own sons, and he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He wasn't saying don't grieve. He was saying don't let grief consume you. Don't let it become your identity. Don't let it convince you that love was a mistake because loss hurts. The love was real. The loss is real. Both can be true. Seneca, who lost his own son, wrote letters to a grieving mother that still echo years later. He didn't tell her to stop feeling. He told her to feel, but not to let feeling destroy her. Here's what I want you to understand. Your grief is proof that you loved, not weakness, proof. Every tear is a testament to something real. Every ache is evidence that they mattered. Every sleepless night is a monument to connection. That doesn't mean you stay in grief forever. It means you honor it. You let it move through you. You let it soften you, not harden you. And eventually you learn to give that love somewhere else. Not to replace them, to honor what they taught you, to pay forward the capacity for connection they helped you build. Your love didn't die when they left. It just lost its destination. And love without a destination aches, but it can also transform into compassion, into wisdom, into the ability to love the next person even more deeply because you know how precious connection is. Let yourself grieve. Don't rush it. Don't apologize for it. Don't let anyone tell you there's a timeline. But also don't let grief convince you that love is over. It's not. It's just looking for a new place to go. Number 7. The only way out is through. We live in a culture that sells shortcuts. 5 steps to happiness, 3 days to healing, 1 secret to never feeling pain again. It's all lies. There is no shortcut through heartbreak. There is no bypass around grief. There is no way to skip the hard parts and arrive at healed. The only way out is through. I tried everything to avoid the pain. I stayed busy. I distracted myself. I started new projects. I went on dates I wasn't ready for. I pretended I was fine when I was drowning. And none of it worked. Because the pain doesn't go away just because you ignore it. It waits. It's patient. It knows you'll eventually have to face it. The Stoics understood this. They didn't believe in avoiding difficult emotions. They believed in moving through them with awareness, with courage, with honesty. Epictetus said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." The pain isn't blocking your healing, it is your healing. The grief isn't preventing you from moving on. Moving on requires moving through the grief. Think of it like a tunnel. You can stand at the entrance forever, afraid of the dark. You can try to go around, over, under. But the only way to the other side is to enter the darkness and keep walking until you see light again. And here's what no one tells you. In the tunnel, you learn things. You discover strengths you didn't know you had. You find parts of yourself that were hidden in the light. You become someone who's been through the dark and come out the other side. That person, they're not broken. They're deeper. They're wiser. They're more real. So stop looking for shortcuts. Stop trying to avoid the pain. Stop pretending you're fine when you're not. Feel it. Cry if you need to. Scream if you need to. Write it out. Talk it out. Sit with it. Let it move through you. It will take as long as it takes. There's no timeline. There's no race. There's only you, walking through your own darkness, one step at a time. And I promise you, on the other side, there's light. Not because the pain disappears, because you've become someone who can carry it differently. The only way out is through. Start walking. Numero 8. Silence them by living well. Someone once told me that the best revenge is living well. And for a while, I clung to that. I wanted them to see me thriving. I wanted them to regret leaving. I wanted them to scroll past my success and feel the sting of what they lost. But that's not letting go. That's still being attached, just with extra steps. Living well isn't revenge, it's liberation. It's not about them seeing, it's about you becoming. It's not about making them regret, it's about making yourself proud. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who wronged you." Not to prove something to them, to become something for yourself. To rise so far above the bitterness that you don't even remember looking down. I eventually stopped posting for them, stopped checking if they'd seen, stopped wondering if they cared. Not because I was over it, because I realized that living well with them as my audience was still giving them power. The Stoic warrior lives well for one reason only, because it's worthy. Because becoming your best self is its own reward. Because the person you're becoming in the quiet, in the work, in the daily discipline, that person doesn't need anyone's approval, not even theirs. Seneca wrote, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." When you're living well for revenge, you're still dependent on their reaction, still anxious about whether they notice, still attached to an outcome you can't control. When you're living well for yourself, you're free. You're not checking, not waiting, not hoping. You're just living, fully, deeply, on your own terms. And here's the beautiful irony. When you live that way, truly for yourself, not for them, you become irresistible. Not to them necessarily, to life itself, to opportunity, to connection, to joy. Not because you're trying to attract anything, because you become someone worth attracting. So live well, not for them, for you. Build something, become something, grow, heal, thrive. And if they notice, if they regret, if they come back, it won't matter, because you'll have become someone who doesn't need them to. Number 9, what's meant for you will not pass you by. This is the hardest truth to trust when you're in the middle of heartbreak, because it feels like they were meant for you. It feels like you'll never find anyone like them again. It feels like love has passed you by forever. But here's what I've learned, through enough pain to fill oceans. What's meant for you will not pass you by. Not because the universe is magical, because you won't let it. Because when something is truly meant for you, a person, a purpose, a life, you'll recognize it. You'll show up for it. You'll fight for it. It won't feel like forcing. It'll feel like coming home. The Stoics believed in living according to nature. not forcing things, not fighting reality, aligning with what is. Epictetus said, "Don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do happen, and you will go on well." They left. That happened. Wishing it didn't doesn't change it. Fighting it doesn't undo it. Resisting it doesn't reverse it. But trusting that what's meant for you will find you, that changes everything. Because it frees you from desperation. It frees you from settling. It frees you from believing that this one person was your only chance at love. They weren't. They can't be. Because love isn't a finite resource. It's not a lottery with one winner. It's a capacity that grows with use, a muscle that strengthens with practice. The person who was meant for you, the one who will stay, who will choose you, who will love you in a way that feels like breathing, they're not going to miss you. They're not going to pass you by. They're being prepared, just as you're being prepared, for the moment when your paths cross. But you have to be ready. You have to be whole enough to receive them. You have to be free enough to choose them. You have to be healed enough to love them without the shadow of who you lost hanging over everything. So let this one go. Not because it didn't matter, because it did. And because what's meant for you is still coming. Trust the timing. Trust the process. Trust yourself. Number 10, you don't let go once. You let go over and over. This is the final truth. The one that saved me from believing I'd failed every time the pain came back. You don't let go once. You let go over and over. Healing isn't linear. It's not a straight line from broken to whole. It's a spiral. You'll think you're fine, and then a song comes on. You'll think you're over it, and then you see their name. You'll think you've moved on, and then you dream about them. And in those moments, you'll think, I'm back at the beginning. I haven't healed at all. This will never end. But you're not back at the beginning. You're circling back to the same wound at a higher level, with more wisdom, more strength, more tools. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." The pain changes. It softens. It becomes less frequent, less intense, less consuming. But it might never fully disappear. And that's okay, because the goal isn't to never feel the ache. The goal is to feel it without being owned by it. Seneca said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Most of the pain, after a while, isn't the actual loss. It's the fear that the loss defines you, that you'll never love again, that you're broken beyond repair. That's imagination. The reality is simpler. You loved. You lost. You're still here, still breathing, still capable. And every time the pain resurfaces, you have a choice. You can let it pull you under, or you can let it move through you, acknowledge it, and let it go again. Letting go is not a one-time event. It's a practice, a discipline, a daily choice. Some days you'll choose well, some days you won't. That's okay. That's human. That's the spiral. But here's what I want you to remember. Every time you let go, you're practicing. Every time you choose to release instead of cling, you're building a muscle. Every time you feel the pain and still keep going, you're becoming someone who can handle anything. You don't let go once. You let go over and over, until one day you realize you haven't thought about them in weeks. And when you do, it doesn't hurt. It just is. A memory, a chapter, a part of your story that made you who you are. That's not failure. That's freedom. You made it, all the way through. 10 rules, an hour of truth, and you stayed. That says something about you. It says you're willing to feel, willing to heal, willing to do the hard work of letting go. I know how hard this is. I've been where you are, lying awake, replaying memories, wondering if you'll ever feel whole again. And I'm here to tell you, from the other side of that darkness, that you will. Not because time passes, because you'll keep showing up, keep feeling, keep releasing, keep choosing yourself. Remember what we covered. Accept that some stories don't have happy endings. Your attachment is not the same as your love. What you resist persists. The person you miss may not exist anymore. Your worth was never them. Grief is love with no place to go. The only way out is through. Silence them by living well. What's meant for you will not pass you by. And you don't let go once. You let go over and over. This is the path. Not easy, but simple. One day at a time, one feeling at a time, one release at a time. Before you go, hit that like button. Not for me, as a promise to yourself that you're choosing to let go. Drop a comment. Which of these 10 rules hit you hardest? I read them. I'm with you. Share this with someone who's holding on too tight. Subscribe. This is daily practice. You need these reminders. We all do. Come back when the ache returns. Let these words be your anchor. You are worthy. You are enough. You are becoming. And the love that's meant for you, it's still coming.